Now, previously, I've talked about playing backup and import games on the Sony PlayStation. And as part of that, I've talked about region protection. I've talked about anti-Modchip protection. In particular, the last video, I showed you the weirdness of the European version of Jamalami having the Japanese anti-Modchip screen, which is very, very strange. And I've also touched upon libcrypt protection. And I mentioned Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. The fact that that game doesn't even fully load up, it gets to the disclaimer screen where it warns you about the game being full of violence and gore, and then it won't go any further. Now, what we've got in front of us today is a really, really interesting anti-piracy example. So, we've got Need for Speed Porsche 2000. You can see I've got my original copy of the game right here, and I've got a backup copy of the game right here, which I've marked up as anti-piracy, a totally unpatched backup of that particular disc there. Now, this anti-piracy, I would definitely say, is genius and devious at the same time. Because when you load up the backup copy of Need for Speed Porsche 2000, the pirated copy, everything looks normal to start with. It takes you through the menu screens. You can go ahead and set up a race. And it loads you into the race. And everything looks really, really normal. And you think, yep, mission accomplished. I'm playing my pirated copy of Need for Speed Porsche 2000. Life is brilliant. But wait a minute, what the hell happened there? Why is it reset me back to the start-finish line? Why am I starting the race all over again? Ah, it's doing it every 12 seconds, so something really, really is not right here. Yeah, basically, there's your anti-piracy. As it's loaded up the game off the backup disc, again I'd imagine it's some form of libcrypt protection. Basically, some data that's on the original disc that cannot be replicated is not on the backup copy of the disc. It's realised that. It's obviously flagged the fact that that information isn't on the disc. It's realised it's a pirated copy of the game, a backup copy of the game, and thus it's triggered that awesome piece of anti-piracy. I can only play the game for 12 seconds, and then it resets me back to the start and finish straight, which I think is quite funny. Also, the demo, if you let the demo run through, as in you don't touch anything on the main menu, the demo will reset back to the start-finish line every 12 seconds. It's absolutely hilarious. And the reason I think it's genius and devious is because it makes you think everything's all good, and then you suddenly get hit with that awesome payload of every 12 seconds you get reset back to the start line. And I can just imagine somebody not knowing what was going on calling, EA's support line for the game and saying, my PlayStation Need for Speed Porsche 2000 is resetting me back to the start finish line every 12 seconds. And I can just imagine the conversation. It would have been absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, sir or madam, you've bought a pirated copy of the game, or you've just got a pirated copy of the game from somewhere. Unlucky, go and buy a real version of the game. Thanks, bye. Phone slammed down. Something along those lines. But yeah, I think that is awesome. I'm aware as well there are other games that have got some pretty cool anti-piracy things in them, such as Spyro, which I may cover in a future episode. But I thought this one was awesome, because I actually tried this so many months ago. In fact, it might have been years ago. I played a backup copy of Need for Speed Porsche 2000, unpatched, and didn't understand what was going on. And I thought, hold on, there must be something not quite right about this. Because I then bought the game, played this original copy, and of course didn't have any issues, and it was on the same PlayStation. But back in the day, if you'd have been wise to these things that were going on, you potentially could have patched the game if you downloaded it, then burned the patch copy to disk, which I can confirm that patch works, because I've got another copy that I've burnt with the patch included, and it does not reset you back to the start-finish line every 12 seconds. It actually plays as normal. But I thought this was interesting. I thought this was awesome, and I would share it with you guys, because When I was looking out there to see about this 12-second reset that goes on in a pirated copy of Need for Speed Porsche 2000, I could find no information about it whatsoever. So apologies if this isn't new information you already know, but to me, it was new information I thought was interesting to share with you all. So guys, thanks as ever for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.